Today, we're gonna take a look at some new accessories never before seen on this channel. Possibly never before seen on any channel. Actually, I don't really know about that last one. I didn't really do a lot of research on that beforehand, but it's possible. Regardless, these accessories have definitely never been seen before on at least this channel. They're awesome, and you're gonna wanna see them. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. The holidays, they're quickly approaching, and if there's one thing that I know about all Tesla owners out there, they want an accessory for their Tesla. I mean, Tesla owners love their Teslas, and B, they're always looking for ways to make their Teslas better. Yes, sometimes you see the same accessories repeating themselves on our channel, and well, most of that is because A, we really trust the brands in general, and two, these are things that we really like and we would use in our car and our daily life. But I understand that this channel isn't about my wants, it's about your wants. So all of these accessories, they're brand new. We've never seen them before because there's stuff that, well, maybe we won't use in our daily life, but maybe you want to. Now, if you've seen any of our accessory videos before in the past, you know before we get started, we always have to start with a safe word. I mean ground rules. I mean, safe words are good too, but no, we start with ground rules. All of these accessories that you're about to see are all from Pimp My EV. The owner reached out to me himself and he was like, hey Chris, we have been doing Tesla accessories for a few years. We've got some awesome stuff that we think your viewers want to see. And I know that they're a pretty sound brand because I've seen them through other YouTubers like Jeeps. So, you know, thanks Jeeps for checking these guys out ahead of time. This stuff is actually pretty cool. So let's kind of jump right into it now. Man, I bet you Jeeves has a safe word for his channel. Pimp My EV, well, they sent over a lot. According to them, this is all part of their essentials bundle. They have seen Tesla owners order time and time again from their website the most popular items that they have. We'll give you a quick overview of what it is and then how to install it real quick. So we're gonna start with the first one, which is kind of the prettiest one. This one, honestly, I'm pretty excited for. These are Puddle Lights. These are fully customizable Puddle Lights. You can literally customize and pick any logo you want to appear in there that will shine down on the ground every time you open up the door. When you go on there, they do have a bunch of kind of pre-loaded pictures of logos that you can pick from to use, including the Tesla T logos. But ours, yeah, they're a little special. But first, let's show you how to install them. You just come down under your door, right down here, you'll see the Puddle Lights. You literally just pop this out, and then there's a little clip in the back for the wire that you replace it with. You can see the pin release is like right there where my thumbnail is. Press down on that as you're pulling it out.
That's what she said.
It's a lot easier than it looks. You just plug in the new one and pop it back in. Now, one tip I do recommend, especially with a logo, you want to make sure the logo is going to appear the right way when the door opens. If you hold your hand really close to the light, you'll be able to see the logo, and then you can go ahead and literally, it pops right back in. Now, when you're doing it, when you unplug your existing light, all of a sudden the window's kind of like half rolled down, that's okay, that's normal, don't worry about it. When you plug the new light in, it'll do it again, and it'll just kind of reset itself. So let's do real quick the big reveal as far as what these lights look like. Let's do it right now. All right, so the next item that they sent was an LED strip for your frunk. I highly recommend this. We actually already have one in there. I'll drop a link to the one that we currently have in the description below. The one that we have in there now is actually made by Handshow. It has an app that it connects to where you can change the color. This is a single color LED strip, so you can't change the color. They do have different color options, so you can pick a different color if you want. You can go with like the classic white, or I think they have blue and red and a couple others on there, but it doesn't change colors just with that one strip. But theirs is a little bit cheaper than Handshow's. They even give you a wrench in their kit to help make it really easy, so you don't even really need any tools. And then these are the wire tap-ins that you'll need, and this is the light strip itself, which is kind of coiled up. I was really shocked to see how many times we go in our frunk at night, especially in the wintertime when it gets dark so early. It comes in handy all the time. I actually really highly recommend getting a LED light strip for your frunk. Again, I will put links down below to both LED light strips, the one from Pimp My EV as well as the one from Henshow that we currently have in. All right, next on our list, honestly, is something that I don't know why it's taken us so long to get this. It is a noise reduction kit for the Tesla Model Y. For as nice as the Tesla Model Y is, it's definitely not like the quietest ride when you're going along. This kit includes absolutely everything you need. There's a ton of pieces, all for pretty much every single opening that the car has. So we're gonna go on a road test before we install the noise reduction kit and see the before, so that way we can compare it to the after and see if there's any type of difference. Right now, I am driving on a regular road by my house. It's not like a highway or anything, it's just kind of a regular road. Let's shut up for a minute and listen to what we hear, and then I will hop on a nearby highway so we can check out what it sounds like on the highway. This is just driving on a regular road. All right, now we are driving on the highway. Let's see what it sounds like. Now for the install, there's like 7 or 8 different little individual packages. They're all labeled, kind of letting you know where they are. Now they also have numbers on them. On their website, they give you this little map that kind of tells you where each number corresponds to. We're gonna start with the front hood that goes under the frunk. Now this one actually goes right in this little groove that's kind of right here. This stuff is really just like a rubber. It's almost like a rubber hose. Smack yourself with a rubber hose with double-sided tape on the back. And oh, I do see the logo. They used quality stuff. 3M double-sided tape. So for the interest of time and keeping this video moving and somewhat entertaining, I'm just gonna walk you through real quick where each bag goes. Before you do any of these, I do recommend cleaning these edges before you actually install it, because any dirt that's on there, it's gonna make this really difficult. It's not gonna stick all that well. Just grab some cleaner and a microfiber and just clean all of these edges before you actually do the install. And this goes for all of them, the doors, the trunk, the frunk, everywhere. Bag number 1 was actually a little tricky. It was a little hard to kind of figure out. It goes along the door here, the very front edge of the door. It's just the front edge, so I kind of fed it through behind this and also the tubing here. But you can see it's this black strip right here. I just kind of ran it all the way down. There was a tiny little bit of excess down here at the bottom. I just got ahead and clipped it with some scissors. With all of these, all the pieces, they're designed to just go around the edges of whatever the body part is that they're attached to. Bag number 1, there's 2 pieces, one for the driver's side door, one for the passenger side door, so you're just going to do it to both. Bag number 2 is the B pillar. The B pillar actually goes here on the door itself, on the rear door. There's like a little body part here. You're just gonna run that strip just all the way down there, and that's gonna go ahead and seal off, so when the front door closes and it makes contact here, it's gonna seal that off so there's no noise that's gonna come in. Again, 2 pieces, one here, one for the passenger side as well. Number 3 is the front door itself. It is kind of still a small little tube, but then it's got this extra flap here on there. You just wanna make sure the flap goes in to the door itself, like towards the cabin, and you're going to run this. This is just going to go all the way down along the edge of the door, and then again all the way down along the bottom of the door itself, all the way to where it meets there. Here on the corner, I recommend cutting this, only because if you try to turn it, you're going to have a lot of excess, and I don't recommend that. So I just did like a little angle cut just to kind of clean it up, make it look nice and good, and then you're just going to run it along the body part all the way up. Again, 2 pieces here, one for the driver's side door, one for the passenger side door. Bag number 4 is the rear door, and again, this is just like the front door. It's the same piece. It's kind of a little oblong like that. You're just going to run it all the way down along the edge, and then again all the way down along the bottom. I did the same thing here where I cut it right at the edge. Here at this turn, you can cut it. I just did the turn, but see how there's like a little bit of an excess? Maybe I should have cut that. And you'll see there's like a little tiny lip here. That's kind of what the guide I use use to follow for both sides, driver's side rear door, passenger side rear door. Bag number 5 is the frunk itself, which you already saw me install. Bag number 6 and 7 are both back here for the trunk. Sorry for the messy trunk. After we got done shooting the majority of the video that you're watching, we kind of had to move back in, and this is just kind of what our life typically looks like as a soccer family. You got Tyler's soccer bag, you got chairs for the field, all sorts of stuff. Bag number 6 says like posterior or something or other. This one was a little confusing to figure out, but it goes here on the body of the car itself, but it's for the trunk. So it actually starts up here, like on the back window. It goes right in that crease, and it follows this line all the way down right here to the brake light itself. Now there's 2 pieces, one for this side, one for this side. Again, it's that same line all the way down this piece right here. Then bag number 7, the last piece, is for the trunk lid itself. You'll see right here, it starts at right where the brake light is. There's like a little lip right here. You just follow that edge, and again, you go right down, you just follow that edge all the way around. Right here, comes back up, and again ends right here at the brake light. Everything closes fine. There's no issues. The trunk closes fine. Nothing is kind of sticking out. You'll see over here the doors, nothing is sticking out. Everything closes fine. To be honest, the one thing I kind of like about this, so we've always had this huge panel gap here with our trunk lid to the body. We've taken it in a couple times to Tesla. They've never been able to fully fix this panel gap. I could see the tubing in there, and it actually makes me feel like maybe that'll give some more weather protection. I don't know. Now let's hit the road and check out and see if we hear any difference. This is the same stretch that we did the sound test on originally, so I'm going to go ahead and stay quiet and let's listen in and see if we hear any difference on a regular road. So let's go ahead and let's do them back to back. So what did you guys think? I don't know. Let's go ahead and get to the highway. I think that's going to be where we're going to see the difference. So we are on the highway. Let's go ahead and take a listen and see if it's a little bit quieter. Look, it could be a placebo effect, but I feel like it is quieter right now. Let's go ahead and play the before the install, and then right afterwards, let's go right into what we just heard just then. Did you notice a difference? Driving in it right now, and again, I'm gonna, when I go back and I do this in post, I'm real curious to hear the difference for myself, but I do feel like this is quieter. Now the next accessory in their essentials bundle here, apparently it allows you to add an extra cup holder right to like the inside of your door, just to give you extra cup holder space. And the install is pretty easy. They give you, again, every tool that you're gonna need, including a T27 screwdriver. They actually give you like a wrench version of it. So there's a T27 bolt. So this is like the door button, right, to open up the door. On the other side, on the back side of it, there's like a little hole right here. You're gonna kind of stick it up in there, and then you're gonna go ahead and turn it, and then you're gonna go ahead and loosen it. Take that out. Don't mess with any of this. The pieces that are fixed to the door, each one is specific for where it goes. They're actually marked on the inside of it. You'll see here, this one says LF, which means for left front. So this is going to be the driver's side front door. This little knob thingy here, it goes right into that hole.
Hey, nice.
And then it just sits flush right against the door like that. So now that we've got it on, you just take the cup holder, and these little slots, they line up with there, and you just kind of slide it right in. And there you have it. A nice little added cup holder on there. I could definitely see this serving a function for many people out there and keep it easy to grab with your left hand. All right, folks, well, unfortunately, I have to report an injury here that was obtained on that last install. I'm making bodily sacrifices here for the entertainment value of this channel. All right, the next accessory in this essentials bundle is a tail light cover. I actually think this is pretty cool, and this is another one that's completely customizable. They got all sorts of cool ways that you can customize this. In fact, so they sent me this one that's for Tesla, right? But the folks over at Pimp My EV did get a little creative, and they decided to also send me this one. Oh yeah, customized for LockettTech especially. I think that's kind of cool. However, look, as much as I appreciate the customized LockettTech one, I'm actually gonna use the Tesla one only because, I mean, we already have one of those like vanity plates on the back of ours that say LockettTech. I appreciate the thought, I really do, and I appreciate the creativity, but we're gonna check out the Tesla one and see what that looks like. And this sits over that third brake light up there itself, so that way when it illuminates through this, and it kind of makes that design shine. These are supposed to be super easy to install. They're literally just like lenses almost that just kind of like slide in over your third brake light there on the trunk lid. You're just supposed to slide it in to this little space that's right here. Now you do want to slide it with the curved edge up and then the design facing out, obviously. I think we're center here. Go ahead and push it down. So let's go ahead in and let's see what it looks like all lit up. So we're gonna wait till it gets dark and it'll just kind of be a whole lot brighter. Yeah, let's go ahead and do some more of that editing movie magic and make it dark. Next up from Pimp My EV, we have something that's near and dear to my heart, mud flaps. I know that probably sounds kind of weird, but mud flaps, quite honestly, I love these things. The back bottom corner of the rear doors, they get pummeled with rocks that get thrown up from those front tires. And it's because the back end of the car flares out and it just destroys the paint on your car. Now, if you're not quite prepared or ready to invest thousands of dollars in getting PPF on your car, well, you can just pay like $100 and you can get some really good mud flaps that will protect at least the rear section of your car. And you can also put them on the back tires so that way it protects the people that drive behind you. Maybe if you got another Tesla driving behind you, to be courteous, not throw rocks and crap like that at their cars. I'm not really a big fan of how they always look. I'm pretty picky about how the mud flap looks. These in particular I like because these are sport shorty mud flaps, which I love that idea. Because we lowered our Tesla rides at the height of a performance Model Y. Anytime we go over like a speed bump or like any type of big bump, it always bends and destroys those longer mud flaps. In fact, we've actually gone through sets of mud flaps that just kind of got ripped off. These things are also super easy to install. They are the no drill type of install. You do want to pay attention to the little design that they put on the back of the mud flap itself. It tells you what side it's for and whether it's for the front or the rear. The really long curved ones are for the rear. The shorter curved ones are for the front. The little indent here on where the pop clips go, you want the indent kind of facing out towards the tire, so because that's where the pop clip itself is going to go in. And they give you everything you need. They give you the mud flaps themselves and they also give you the pop clips. Now for this install, all you're going to need is a flathead screwdriver, unless you have one of those like pop clip removal tools. All you do is you go in, you slide your flathead screwdriver underneath the existing pop clip, and then you just, I mean, as the name suggests, you just pop it out. That design is going to face the car. This actually goes and slides in right behind your fender framework right there. And then you just go ahead and you grab your new pop clip, and then literally you just push the pop clip in, and there you go. The new one installed. You're just going to repeat the process on the other side, and then I'll show you the back too. The rear's done pretty similar. This is the existing one that we have up, that we've had for a little while. There's one pop clip right here, and then the second pop clip is right here, and then that's it. That's where it ends. This has one pop clip, two, and then a third. So this actually extends much further into the wheel well, which means it's going to block even more that could potentially come from over here where this one doesn't extend out to. Otherwise, the process is the same. So when we're putting this in, we're gonna do the same thing we've been doing. Make sure that slit is right behind the fender right there. And we're gonna grab our new pop clips. Now you do have to use the new pop clips that are provided. You cannot reuse the factory ones. The factory ones, unfortunately, are not long enough. And now we're good to go. And last but certainly not least, in this Essentials accessory bundle from Pimp My EV, which I gotta say, to be honest, so far, all of these accessories have been complete home runs. Last but not least is some seat back protectors. Now, if you've watched the channel, this is something that we already did a video on, but these are different. This is like a suede material. It kind of looks and feels kind of like the Alcantara, but it looks really nice and it feels really nice, and I'm really excited to get these on. I'll go ahead and I will link the video to this seat back protector and the installation, which is the same. I'll go ahead and I will link that video right here. This is made by EV and Car. It feels very similar to the vegan leather that's already in here, and the color is almost exact, and the stitching on this is really, really close to the OEM as well. But I'm excited to try this new one, this new suede, because you know, I'm excited to get the different look in here with the black. I think it's gonna look kind of cool. You're just gonna kind of turn it over, and this slides right behind here. That's what kind of keeps it in. You're just gonna follow it all along the edges. It's very easy. It just kind of, like I said, it slides right in. That way you can kind of center it up, make sure it's correct, it's properly aligned. Now for the driver's side one, it's usually best if you just move the seat all the way forward, and then you can kind of get into it through there. So there we have it. This is a very nice suede. I like how it's like that black on gray, kind of like how it was originally built. This feels a lot nicer, and it comes with a pocket just like the original. This is form-fitting. It looks really good. Now the last thing that we have to do is connect the bottom. It comes with these little hook clips. You just attach the band onto here. It just goes in right through this little slit right up here. You kind of take that band and you go underneath the seat, and then you find something to clip this on, so that way the bottom stays completely attached. One little tip though is raise the seat up as high as it goes to give you a little bit of working room down there. It looks really OEM, and yeah, I really like it a lot. Well, there you have it, a complete breakdown of the Essentials bundle from Pimp My EV. I gotta tell you, there was a lot of stuff in there that's really solid, and like I said, don't forget to use our code LockettTech. You'll save a little bit on anything you buy from Pimp My EV, whether you're buying something from that Essentials bundle, whether you're buying anything from their website. Use code LockettTech, you'll save a little bit. The holidays are coming, things are getting expensive. Hey, it's great if we could save a buck here, there, or anywhere. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. Click that button that's down there. We are going to come out with 3 parts in total of new accessories. We've got part 2 and part 3 that's going to come out, so you don't want to miss those. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to see a video we did on the review of the 3rd row and all that hate that it gets, go ahead and click that right there. If you want to see the last video we did, go ahead and click that right there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in another one real soon.